We delve into Esoteric America, exploring the secret destiny of this nation as revealed by the 20th century mystic Manly Palmer Hall. Solon of Athens freed debtors from personal bondage in order to reform the institution of debt slavery. He instituted the selection of juries by lot, with all citizens participating, and he extended the voting franchise to all taxpayers alike. In this way, he began national democracy 600 years before Christ. Later, during a journey to Egypt, Solon learned of the first war of conquest through the story of the lost Atlantis, and became acquainted with imperishable laws said to govern nations. Debt has been the common burden of the ages, yet the entire structure of the modern economic world rests on the unstable foundation of bills payable and bills receivable. Long ago, interest consumed its own principle, and today humanity lives upon unliquidated debts of its own creation. Solon, the greatest statesman of the Greek world, confronted this ancient problem when, around 595 BC, he was summoned to lead the state under the title of Archon. He was granted unlimited powers to reform both the economic and constitutional systems of Athens. His first action was to attack the old Attic law of debt, which he believed lay at the root of public distress. In Solon's time, the Greek countryside was scattered with roughly hewn stone markers. Originally, these stones marked property boundaries. Over time, it became customary to carve mortgage records into them. Eventually, single stones proved insufficient, and additional monuments were erected, interfering even with the plowing of fields. While investigating this tragedy of mortgage monuments, Solon made discoveries that would alter the course of human economics. Poor farmers mortgaged their land to wealthy neighboring families. When debts went unpaid, landowners moved boundary stones to absorb the encumbered land, reducing former owners to tenants. These tenants were required to pay 1/6 of their produce for the right to work the soil. If they failed, their persons were seized and they became slaves. This was the Attic law that Solon abolished, the law permitting loans secured by the debtor's body. When Solon restored freedom to those enslaved for debt, the reform was welcomed by the poor but resented by landowners. They conspired to discredit him and drive him from office. Even in those early times when life was simpler, the same persistent flaws of human nature burdened the state and troubled its lawmakers. Seeking order amid chaos, Solon reorganized social classes and granted political recognition to groups previously excluded from government. He divided citizens into 4 classes, reminiscent of ancient castes, and restructured taxation so that poorer citizens paid approximately 5% of their income. Equalizing taxation according to ability paved the way for equal representation. All taxpayers gained the right to be heard in public affairs and to elect magistrates. These measures marked the beginning of Greek democracy. The greatest of Solon's reforms occurred in the courts. Juries were selected by lot, with participation open to all citizens, including the poorest, and their authority was upheld against privileged interests. One of Solon's more curious laws reflects the challenges of his era. He forbade brides from bringing more than 3 garments and minimal personal furniture into marriage. He also required every citizen to be prepared at any time to explain how they earned their livelihood. Failure to do so resulted in loss of civic rights. These sweeping reforms made Solon many enemies. After several years, he relinquished leadership to restore his honor. Those who had feared and opposed him as Archon expressed renewed admiration once he no longer threatened their ambitions. Recognizing his own limitations, Solon traveled to Egypt in search of greater wisdom. At Sais, priests of the goddess Isis welcomed him with respect. When Solon described his efforts to reform Greek laws, the high priest reportedly replied, "Alas, you Greeks, you are but children, for you do not know the wisdom of the gods." One night, the priests led Solon through dark temple passageways and down ancient stone stairs lit by torches. They reached subterranean chambers carved from living rock, through which flowed a river said to be the sacred Nile, running beneath the world to water the fields of the immortals. On its bank waited a small black boat, rowed by blind men. Accompanied by the high priest, Solon crossed the dark waters to a tiny underground island. There, torchlight revealed two tall columns that gleamed like metal, covered with strange inscriptions in an unknown language. The high priest explained that these pillars were placed there thousands of years earlier by a vanished civilization. The metal neither rusted nor decayed with age. He told Solon that once there existed a vast empire whose power extended across the world. Its merchant fleets sailed all seas, bringing wealth to a magnificent city known as the Golden Gate. The empire possessed schools of natural mysteries, towers for studying the stars, and mines yielding abundant precious metals. It was ruled by 7 kings, descendants of Neptune, god of the seas. In defiance of divine law, these kings resolved to conquer the entire world. Thus, war came into existence, for before that time there had been no conflict among humanity. Their armies invaded Europe in great ships from the west, some 9,000 years before the siege of Troy. Angered by this disobedience, the gods shook the earth. The great western islands sank beneath the sea. In a single night, 60 million people perished. In time, even the name of the Atlantic Empire was forgotten, for those who defy the gods vanish from human memory, regardless of power or wealth. These ancient columns, said the high priest, contain laws given long ago for the governance of nations. They are not made by men, but by eternal nature. Upon these laws, enduring states must be built. To depart from them is to perish, as did the nations of the elder world. Upon returning to Greece, Solon intended to shape this account into a great epic poem, but age and public duty prevented him. Instead, he recounted it to his friend Dropides, who passed it to his son Critias. In his 90th year, Critias shared the story with his grandson, also named Critias, who later became a disciple of Socrates. Thus, the story of the lost Atlantis entered the Platonic dialogues, appearing in a conversation between the younger Critias and Socrates. The dialogue was titled Critias,